Hi friends, it's Belinda here from Be Making Joy, and I'm rocking a cane and a foot cast this week. This is episode 21, I think, of What Brings Me Joy, a mostly knitting podcast. I'm here to share with you that I finished clue 3 of the Geogradient Mystery Knit Along from Stephen West. I need to show it to you before I can move on to clue 4. So I'm about a week behind. I'll also explain what I've done to my foot. I'll talk about where we are, and I also have, I gotta go fetch it, a project that I was working on the plane. Well, you've seen the start of it. And I'll also show you some of the other yarns I brought with me and ideas for new projects I'm working on. Pardon me while I go fetch my other bag. Okay, I didn't write any notes. I'm pretty much winging it today. Let's see. Where am I starting? My foot. I injured it. My daughter and husband decided we needed to clean out the kitchen, clean out some of our kitchen cupboards that, stuff we haven't used since we moved in. So we're cleaning the kitchen, had things on the counter. I was up on a ladder, cleaning out the cupboard, wiping it. I come down off the ladder. I did not fall off the ladder. I came down off the ladder. I put my hand on the counter. It caught a stoneware tray, like a Pampered Chef baking tray, heavy stone. I hit it. It flipped up in the air and landed on my foot. It punctured the skin and it fractured the bone on the top of my toes. So I'm in an air cast, hobbling around. Didn't take me too long to get used to the cane. And let's see, that happened on Sunday. We flew on Wednesday. So actually getting through the airport with a cast on was pretty nice. You got people stood out of your way. Yeah. So we're in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. We are very fortunate to have access to the spot right on the harbor. Let's see if I can show you some of it. Can you see out the window? There we are, we're on the harbor. Lovely spot. We've been here a few times, my husband and I. We love it. Oh dear. Pardon me. Okay. So our plan was to just walk around the harbor and visit Fisherman's Wharf and go to the Empress Fairmont, maybe have high tea there. Now we're winging it. We'll have to Uber around. Victoria just got an Uber service a couple of months ago, so that's good. Let's see. My husband's out running. He does a lot of running, biking, as you know, so he'll keep himself occupied while I sit here and knit. So yes, before I can start knitting, I need to show you that I finished clue 3 of the Geogradient Mystery Knit Along, the Stephen West pattern. So, loving it. Still loving my colors, loving this yarn. It's limited edition yarn. The 3 solid purples are by Julie Osselin out of Sherbrooke, Quebec. And the variegated purple is by Numana Yarns out of Edmonton. Clue 1 was the center square. Clue 2 was these eyelet rows. Clue 3 was the slip stitch pattern, which really slowed me down. It took me 2 weeks to finish clue 3, at one half in 1 week and the other half in the other week. My tension is just a little tighter on that section, so a little worried about that. The next section, I've already watched the video, read the clue as soon as it came out. It picks up the stitches all the way along the bottom and does a border, 4 or 5 border sections of a dip stitch, a dip 5 stitch, which involves dipping your needle down a few rows below, 5 rows below actually, and pulling up new stitches. So you'll see that when it's done. Like I said, we're traveling, we're a week here in Victoria, and then we're a week in Palm Springs. So I don't know when the next episode will come out, but probably not until I actually finish the clue. And I'm hoping to finish it very quickly, because I'm excited to start it. It looks really interesting. Of course, I couldn't work on that on the airplane. I finished it Tuesday night before we flew out. The airplane requires a smaller project because you're in a tight space, right? So that's my muscle burl. I started the muscle burl a week ago. Oh no, my stitches are falling off. I started the muscle burl when we went to a hockey game. I did some more of it while I was at the x-ray clinic. And then a bunch on the airplane. So there's our progress so far. I'm really loving how that color's turning out. I've been mesmerized by it. I keep stopping to look at it, how it's spiraling. The center started spiraling one way, and then after it reached all of its increases, it kind of changed direction and went spiraling the other way. Pretty neat. So I left the other colors at home for this. I'm going to do half of it in this yarn and the other half is in stripes, solid stripes. I left those colors at home so that when this half is finished, my daughter can decide what order she wants the other stripes in. So after that is finished, and for our next flight, well, I guess it will go on my next flight. And then I brought yarn for a muscle burl for myself. Where's that yarn? This, I had it in a little foot tee sock thingy to hold it all together. This is the Bee's Knees is the colorway. It's in Sock Needle. My light is fading. Yeah, my little light is burning out. Sorry about that. So, Sock Needle by Ancient Arts Yarns, the Bee's Knees. It's got strips of yellows and browns and then bits of purple, they say, because the bee has skinned his knees. So this is half the skein. I've divided the skein in half, just like I did the other one for Ilana's muscle burl. So I'm going to do half in this, and then I'm going to go back to the store and find a solid color to go with it, because I want to see how it knits up first before I decide which solid color to pair it up with. So that's the next airplane project. And then I brought some yarns that may be overtly ambitious. If I finish the Geo Gradient, I need to start something else for sitting around the house. And if you recall, I was working, goodness gracious, I started 2 years ago. I was working bit by bit on a stadium sit-a-pong, I was calling it. I started with a football themed cushion cover, carry bag, and then I did a hockey themed one, and then I put out calls for test knitters, and I got lots of compliments, but I didn't get any test knitters. I got suggestions of, you should do a soccer one, you should do a baseball one, you should do a basketball one. So I did a soccer one. I mean, it's not finished, I just did the one square to make sure my design works. And then I kind of lost motivation because I was designing it out of Hat Trick Yarn by River City Yarns. And then River City Yarns out of Edmonton stopped selling yarn, so I lost my motivation. And then Ancient Arts Yarns, who used to dye it for River City, has now released them on their own, for their own shop. So I'm back with my enthusiasm to get this one done. So here are the colors for the baseball version I'm gonna do. So I think this is pretty close to Toronto Blue Jays colors. It's not hat trick yarn, but it's Sock Natal, which is the same base that they dyed their hat trick on. So I'm going to get started on that baseball one. And now this is the overly ambitious part, but I brought a whole bunch of other ones. I am currently taking the Professional Knitwear Designer Certification course with the Knitting Guild Association of America. It's an online course. And one of the assignments is to design an Intarsha home decor item. We're not required to knit it, but I kind of feel like I want to knit it, or at least the center part, to make sure my graph works. So I'm thinking a Peggy's Cove theme. So there's my grass. There's my rocks. The ocean. Ooh. The lighthouse. And oof, the trim on the lighthouse. But I haven't even drawn the graph yet. I did bring graph paper. So if I'm laid up a lot, I have a lot of work to do here. But I do hope my foot recovers so that I can get out and about with the air cast on. Doing pretty good. I'm not in pain today yet. Doing a lot of icing, a lot of painkillers. So, pardon me. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I guess that's it. We'll make it a short episode. We'll finish it off and I'll go get started on clue 4. So I don't know when the next episode will be, whether I do it while we're traveling or I do it when we get back home. Internet can be pretty reliable. I hope I don't have any trouble uploading this one, but we'll see. So in the meanwhile, thank you for watching, and happy knitting, crocheting, sewing, baking, sightseeing, whatever it is you like to do, go find some joy.